Because of this incident, they are recommending murder charges against 3 of San Antonio's finest. 3 San Antonio police officers in trouble tonight after an early morning shootout.
A woman gunned down in her own apartment. Video showing the officers opening fire as she approaches her door with what the police chief says was a hammer.
After reviewing the evidence of this case and speaking with the District Attorney's Civil Rights Division, warrants were issued for the 3 officers who shot and killed Melissa Pettis. The 3 officers are being charged with murder. They've already been taken into custody.
Police Chief William McManus, flanked by the city manager, detailing the actions of his officers that he believes deserve murder charges.
The 3 officers are identified as Sergeant Alfred Flores, Officer Eleazar Alejandro, Officer Nathaniel Villalobos. All are veterans of the police force. Word of the arrest and the chief's news conference happening just within the last 40 minutes.
Our Avery Everett was there. She joins us live from Public Safety Headquarters now. Avery, the chief took no questions during the briefing, but he did give his condolences to the woman's family.
Yeah, Steve, Patty, Chief McManus identified that woman killed this morning as 46-year-old Melissa Perez. He says SAPD and the DA's office will now start 3 separate investigations, all looking into exactly how this happened and how we move forward from here. But I first want to give you an update on what exactly we know went down this morning. Officers first responded to a vandalism incident. Chief McManus says Perez was having a mental health crisis when officers tried to speak with her. He says she first threw a glass candle at an officer and then later swung a hammer at them twice. That's when Chief McManus says officers fired. He apologized to the family of the victim, saying this shooting, well, it doesn't reflect SAPD.
This event does not accurately reflect the high level of dedication and commitment demonstrated by our over 2,500 officers, nor should it undermine the extensive and advanced training we provide to ensure the safety of both our officers and the community that they served.
Chief McManus did not take any additional questions from us because he says this is an active investigation. As we continue to learn more about those 3 officers and those 3 investigations, we'll keep you updated on KSAT.com. Reporting live, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. And I remember from the earlier reports we did on that shooting this morning that neighbors described this woman as nice, and they wondered what went wrong. Of course, we'll continue to stay on top of that story. Meanwhile, the South Texas heat taking a toll on our pets. The city already seeing more than 5,000 animal service calls this summer, some for animals suffering from the heat.
Yeah, the temperatures we've been seeing lately can be a killer for your pets. Heavy panting, lack of energy, or digestive problems are symptoms of distress. Now, the palm of your hand can help tell if it is safe for you to walk your dog.
We're already seeing some cases of kind of mild to moderate heat stroke and definitely seeing scuffed up and abraded paws.
Veterinarian Leah Shannon warns your pets should only be spending a limited amount of time in the heat.
Be very, very cognizant of your dogs with short noses, French bulldogs, they've got so much less capacity to cool their bodies. And so heat stroke can set in within a matter of minutes, within 5 to 10 minutes sometimes.
Right, so let's see what we got with this different type of sidewalk.
Using a heat gun, Animal Care Services shows us the temperature on the pavement can reach 130 degrees. It's not much better in the shade or inside the doghouse.
Make sure not only that your dog has shade and water, but it's actually cool and provides them from comfort. Some shaded areas can still reach really, really high temperatures.
Since May 1st, they've had more than 5,400 animal service calls, including animal welfare checks related to the heat.
They were found in a crate outside of a solid waste facility. No shade, no water, no nothing.
One way to spare some pain for your pets, walk them before 9 a.m. or after 8 p.m.
Here's a good way to check the temperature on the ground. Put your palm right here for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's really hot. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for your dog.
ACS says if an animal shows signs of heat stress, slowly lower their body temperature and get them to a vet.
This level of heat can result in very severe medical issues and medical concerns for pets and people.
And you can always call 311 to report an animal in distress to ACS. And Mia, when I was out there and I did that stand up right there, my palm actually hurt for a little while. I felt the heat on that tinglingness. So it is hot out there.
It most certainly is. You know what? That's going to be the theme, not just this weekend, but even into next week as well. More heat. And in fact, earlier today, 102 degrees. That was the official high temperature here in San Antonio. That actually ties the existing record high for today of 102 that was set back in 1990. So yes, the triple digits were able to return after a brief break of just the 90s that we saw out there yesterday. Right now, still warm, still plenty muggy out there. We're in the upper 80s here in San Antonio. Here's a quick look at your Saturday. You can see, yes, triple digits are expected with more sunshine, and the humidity feels like temperatures topping 110 degrees closer to town. We'll get you a full look at that weekend forecast, plus a look at what those temperatures could look like into next week coming up in just a few, guys.
Well, staff at a Northwest Side daycare walk out all at once, leaving families scrambling to find a new place to care for their children this summer. There's a sign at the door of Apple Tree Day School notifying parents that they hope to be open by next week. Now, staff tell KSAT 11 teachers quit this week. Now, earlier this month, the daycare was sold to a new owner. Teachers say they shared concerns about the new management and payroll being late. One of those teachers spoke with KSAT on the phone and simply urges parents to vet child care facilities closely.
You want your children with somebody that's going to nurture them, but guide them. Make sure they're doing the right things. Teach them the proper way to be a member of society. You don't just want anybody watching your children.
And the owner of the daycare, now named Little Heroes Learning Center, says all payroll obligations by new ownership are up to date and adds they are open, hiring and enrolling children. They decline an interview for further comment.
A Bexar County Sheriff's deputy in hot water after he was arrested for DWI. 22-year-old Nicholas Glauser was arrested early this morning by San Antonio police. He was later terminated from the sheriff's office. Glauser's bond set at $1,500. If convicted, he faces 1 year in jail and a $4,000 fine.
A ranch hand who brutally attacked another man with a shovel back in 2021 found guilty of murder this afternoon. This is Miguel Garcia Gonzalez. A Bexar County jury made the decision after deliberating for about 2 hours to come up with that verdict. Gonzalez reportedly attacked Frank Hammonds in June of 2021, hitting him in the head multiple times with a shovel. Hammonds died at the scene. The punishment phase begins Monday. Gonzalez faces life in prison.
Let's go to your Nightbeat News Flash for a look at some of today's big headlines. And we're going to start with that submarine. The Canadian Transportation Safety Board announced on Friday it is launching an investigation into the implosion of that Titan submersible. All 5 people who were on board are believed to have died instantly. The company whose remote operated vehicle discovered the sub debris on Thursday says another mission to the debris site is underway. That information could help investigators figure out a cause of this tragic accident. The CDC looking at the need for a longer-term vaccine strategy against Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox. This week, members of the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunizations met to discuss new information in its effort to best keep people from getting the disease in the first place. The outbreak peaked in August, but cases have continued. The CDC says the current Mpox vaccine, highly effective, but doesn't stop people from getting the virus. It prevents severe illness and hospitalization. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
We are nearing the end of Pride Month, but before we enter July, there is a huge Pride celebration tomorrow, the Pride Bigger Than Texas Night Parade.
Yeah, tonight, Pride San Antonio held a meet and greet event with some of the performers and ironed out the final details before the big day, which is tomorrow, by the way. The night team's John Paul Barajas reports.
A party with a purpose. Pride San Antonio is getting ready to kick off its 20th anniversary of the Pride Bigger Than Texas Night Parade. But before it was a party,
Pride was originally a riot. If we stand alone and we don't stand up for our own rights, especially in the current environment, what it is, then who are we to just stand by anywhere? we have to be proud of ourselves and we have to be heard.
And years later, the fight continues. There are currently 491 anti-LGBTQ bills in the U.S., including 53 in Texas, according to the American Civil Liberties Union, which gave Pride San Antonio President Philip Barcina the idea for the theme of this year's Pride Parade.
This year's theme, which is Just Say Gay. But we feel so strongly about the legislation that's occurring not only here in Texas, but other states throughout the United States, that they're trying to put us back in the closet.
Barcina says that's why tomorrow they're going to live life and celebrate, kicking off with the running of the Queens at 8:30 p.m., followed by the official start of the parade at 9. But before then, there's an action-packed lineup of artists performing, like Tejano Music Award winner Liz Garcia.
The world is yours as much as it is everybody else's. So everybody has a right to be here. Everybody has a right to live life.
And first-time Pride participant, Cuban Diva.
So I just feel Pride is like another culture, and it's a happy culture. It's always happy. I never see nothing negative about Pride, and that's how I am.
That was John Paul Barajas reporting. Now, the parade tomorrow is free to attend. It'll start off at Dewey and North Main. It will end at Lexington and Main. But the Pride Festival kicks off at Crockett Park at 11 a.m. with a star-studded lineup of artists. Pre-sale tickets are $12 until midnight tonight. Tickets at the door tomorrow are $15. Fans partied all night long when the Spurs drafted Victor Wembanyama. This afternoon, he was given the rock star treatment when he touched down at San Antonio International. A look at Wemby's welcome party coming up.
High fever, headache, stiff neck, all symptoms of a mosquito bite infected with the West Nile virus. We'll tell you which community in San Antonio needs to be on alert coming up.
The West Nile virus has been detected in San Antonio. Metro Health reporting the first positive test result found in a mosquito pool.
Yeah, Metro Health tests mosquito pools weekly from March to October. 3 months into testing, the virus was detected in a pool taken from the southwest side. Metro Health says it is spreading the word to people about trying to reduce and control mosquitoes.
Mow the yard, trim back vegetation. That'll eliminate the spots that mosquitoes like to rest. Also, you want to remove standing water.
And Metro says people infected with the West Nile virus don't usually feel sick, and in some cases, people can get a fever, headache, or body aches.
So much fun yesterday inside the AT&T Center for the Draft Watch Party, and Spurs fans got their first glimpse of the new #1 draft pick, Victor Wembanyama, today as he landed in the Alamo City.
I'm not going to lie, I was a little jealous of you out there.
It was fun.
He arrived at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, his flight was delayed because of the weather conditions in New York. The people of San Antonio gave him a warm welcome with gifts like food and like food like we do. And it's enough to say that with various displays of love for the new players, like the mural on Southtown 101 and a billboard welcome him to Texas, the fans are grateful and excited to have him join the team.
It was, I was not surprised by the airport today how many people were out there. And, you know, that they braved the heat, one thing, but the coyote out there
Seriously,
in full coyote regalia.
Do you know, does he have a fan inside of there?
I hope he had a place to cool off.
Or like some ice packs or something, because that was some serious dedication. We were watching all of that happen live, and I was pretty impressed at everybody that was braving the heat, because that's exactly what it was. Hot and humid. Check out these highs today. Again, yesterday, remember, we had some spotty showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms in the morning, and that even lingered into the early afternoon. So because of that, we only topped off in the mid-90s. But today was a much different story because we had plenty of sunshine out there this afternoon. Again, 102 here in San Antonio. Same for places like Pleasanton, stretching over to Hondo. It was 111 degrees in Cotulla and 108 out west in Del Rio this afternoon. And of course, when you factored in the humidity, it felt even hotter than that. Today actually was the 6th triple-digit day that we found so far this year here in San Antonio. I think we're going to make a run at number 7 and 8 as we head into this upcoming weekend. You can see plenty of sunshine each afternoon, starting off in the upper 70s, and those temperatures climbing once again into the low triple digits. We've got high pressure right now, anchored ever so slightly off to our southwest, but what's going to happen over the next few days? days. It's going to move over the Lone Star State and really control our weather pattern even more so for now. And as was the case for most of us today, because of that, we were dry out there. You can see a couple of different complexes of some thunderstorms well off to our north, one that just pushed through the San Angelo region, another one that passed through Lubbock. This should stay well north of our area, taking more of an eastward track here late this Friday night. So other than that, here at home, it's just still warm and humid. Actually a little hot out there as well. You can see those feels like temperatures in the yellow numbers here, still in the upper 90s for a good portion of the area. Hondo still feels like 103 degrees right now. Actual air temperatures have been able to fall into the 80s for at least most of us. But again, we have those elevated dew points still in place. The moisture very noticeable out there tonight. That's still going to be the case tomorrow and into Sunday, which is why those heat index values are still forecasted to reach up to about the 110 degree mark, maybe even a little hotter the farther south that you go. But into early next week, maybe an ever so slightly break in some of those dew points, slightly lower humidity in the afternoon. That could help a touch with those heat index values, but it is still going to be plenty hot out there with more opportunities to climb into the triple digits. So here's a look at your Saturday. We're going to start off in the mid to upper 70s, like what we found earlier this morning. Some morning cloud cover, but I do think we'll see some more sunshine return by lunchtime. Temperatures climbing already to about 90 for any lunchtime plans. Then into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine, and then those high temperatures, upper 90s, low 100s in and around the San Antonio area, around 101 here in town, 101 in Floresville, 104 possible over there in Devine, 102 for places like Uvalde and Sabinal. And of course, with that moisture, there are those forecast heat index values very much upwards of about 110 to even 115 degrees in spots. So definitely stay hydrated out there. Wear your sunscreen. The UV index is going to be extreme again as well this weekend. And as that high pressure system moves overhead, unfortunately, no notable rain chances in the forecast. It's just going to be more heat and more sun, guys.
All right, thanks, Mia. You know, I was thinking when Wemby got out of that plane, what was he thinking when the Texas heat just hit him?
I joked at 6 o'clock. I said, you get to 102 in Paris, right?
I don't know.
Paris, Texas.
Paris, Texas.
I know it does in Paris, Texas.
Maybe on the court if he's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nailing those jumpers. We're looking forward to hearing from some of Wemby's new teammates tonight. Yeah, they talk about what they think he's going to be bringing to the table here in San Antonio. And he's not the only Frenchman coming to San Antonio. Nope, the second-round pick is also a player who played in France. We'll talk about him coming up as well.
You were at the draft yesterday. What did you have a chance to say to Victor?
Yeah, just little bits there. You know, I couldn't talk too much until the draft. But I think he's just, telling them, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work. But I think he's ready and, he's ready for, what's going to come.
Jeremy Sohan, the first Spur player on hand in Brooklyn last night to welcome Victor Wembanyama to the Silver and Black. And then today, hundreds of fans were there at the San Antonio International Airport to be some of the first to welcome Victor to his new home. When he stepped off the plane, he was greeted with chants of his name and Wemby VP, Go Spurs Go, after a couple of handshakes. He went right over to the line of fans at the fence near Jones-Malsberger Road, just outside the private terminal. He shot some video, waved to the fans, turned the corner, and then he actually stopped and signed some autographs. And you could tell just by the smile on his face, he was taking it all in all along the way. Just a few hours ahead of Wembanyama, Jeremy Sohan arrived at the same terminal from New York. The fans got a chance to greet him and get some autographs. And then we got a chance to ask Jeremy what he thinks of Wembanyama's game and what the French phenom is bringing to San Antonio.
I think, endless amount of potential on both sides of the court. He's 7'5" or whatever his, height is. He's massive. And just, how he can move at that size, his footwork, his mobility, his touch, I think it's all real exciting.
Last night, one of those moments that will be one of those where were you moments. When when the Spurs were able to draft Victor Wembanyama. That moment that made it official has brought back a lot of joy for Spurs fans and what the future may hold. But to have success in the years to come, you got to look back to see what worked in the past, what lessons helped the Spurs develop through the years. For more on that, here's our own Larry Ramirez.
The San Antonio Spurs did not shock the world last night when they selected Victor Wembanyama with the first overall selection. Now, they tried to keep it under wraps, the Spurs did, but still, you just knew they would not pass up the opportunity to draft a 19-year-old. He's just too skilled and too down to earth. He's being called a generational talent for a reason. Now, when it comes to his size and skill set, Victor's been called a unicorn, which he said he doesn't like. LeBron called him an alien, and Wemby said he was cool with that. And when it comes to letting Wemby be Wemby on the court, Spurs head coach Greg Popovich has no problem with that, thanks to lessons Pop learned while coaching a Spurs all-time great.
You know, I learned so much from Manu about that very thing. You can't make players into what you think they should be. You really have to understand what they have and how to capitalize on that, because no player is perfect. And learning how to zip it once in a while will serve me well as I watch Victor or Calvin or Devin. It doesn't matter who it is. We all hopefully learn as we grow and get a little bit older.
And Wembanyama also said that staying true to himself on the court is important to him, so it certainly sounds like a match made in basketball heaven. That's all from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Back to you in San Antonio.
Thank you, Larry. Coming up in just a minute, you're going to meet the Spurs' second-round draft pick and what we have in store for you tomorrow afternoon.
With the 44th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Sidi Sissoko from Paris, France.
All right, so there's a moment you may have missed last night. Happened around 10 o'clock. Spurs traded a 33rd pick to the T-Wolves for a pair of future second-round picks. Then, with the 44th pick in the draft, the Spurs selected Sidi Sissoko. This last year, he played in the G League with Ignite, but has also played in France, and he is also 19. Spurs general manager Brian Wright talked late last night about the Spurs second-round pick.
When he played in Europe, he played a lot on the ball as a big point guard. And over the course of the year, you saw him get more comfortable playing without the ball and operating as a wing, still utilizing his frame and his playmaking ability and his passing, but being comfortable taking catch and shoot threes and attacking on the second side. And so we were ecstatic that he was there. He was someone we were considering if we had stayed at 33. And so to get him at 44, we felt that was great.
And you're probably going to get to hear from him tomorrow, as well as Victor, because it's their introduction Spurs press conference. It happens tomorrow morning, 11:15, live here on KSAT 12, because we're going to start off with a little bit of a live stream. Larry Ramirez and myself will be down there, and you can watch it on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, KSAT's YouTube channel. Anywhere you catch us, you can see it tomorrow. So we'll be ready to ask him some questions. You know, I think Larry only got like one question with him on the one-on-one last night. So
I'm a little worried about Larry's neck. Is he icing it down after having to look up so high last night?
Well, and you know, he's probably looking like this all the time. Worried about his back. By the way, me as crack staff found out the answer to your question a while ago.
It was 108 in Paris, France.
Yeah.
In 2019.
So there you go.
So
this is nothing.
So they were used to it. All right, we'll be right back.
Average. Remember that white Princess Leia gown that Carrie Fisher wore in Star Wars A New Hope? Well, it's up for auction. It's estimated to sell for up to $2 million when bidding closes on June 28th.
It's reportedly the only Princess Leia costume known to still exist from the original film. Costume designer John Molo created the gown and went on to win an Oscar in 1978 for his work.
Amazing. All right, let's take one final look at your 7-day forecast. Whole lot of sun, whole lot of heat, and some humidity. So we are still in it for the long haul, y'all.
Want to make sure we clarify. 108 in Paris, France in 2019. The average is
in the 70s.
77 during the summer.